A man and a dog were hiding in the cabin. Suddenly the dog barks furiously at the outside. The woman realized something was wrong, rushed to look out the window, and realized that there was a beast outside. This scared the hell out of her, rushed to tell the dog not to bark. The dog was eager to protect his master, directly rushed out of the cabin to fight with the beast. Quiet passed. Soon a cougar came through the entrance. Alice panicked, hurriedly found a flare gun and loaded it. Then she shot at the cougar. Jack, who was outside, heard a gunshot and knew something was wrong. He immediately ran towards the direction of the cabin. Unexpectedly, his feet slipped. He fell towards the cliff. Luckily, I stepped on a rock. It was only then that he managed to escape. He then struggled up the hill to the cabin. He was relieved to see that Alice was fine, but the dog was bitten by a cougar. Fortunately, the injury is not serious. Jack immediately took out a needle and thread and gave the dog a suture treatment. Seeing this man in front of him so careful, Alice was a bit surprised. It turned out that the two did not know each other. The other party cancelled the flight because of the weather. The plane will not fly until tomorrow at the earliest, and both of them have urgent matters, and the destination is the same. So they went to charter company. They shared a private jet for $800. The pilot is a retired veteran. He thought the distance was relatively short. No need to file a flight plan.
What about the storm? Beat it out.
He said he had flown F-5S to Vietnam. Unless someone shoots and strafes, then it's a sure thing to get there. The pilot was confident. Unexpectedly, after flying a few kilometers, he suddenly felt sick. Jack, who was a doctor, noticed something was wrong. He immediately went to check, but there was nothing he could do in the situation. As the plane plummeted, the rear of the plane hit a snow mountain and broke off instantly. Alice reminds Jack to fasten his seatbelt. I don't know how long it took. Jack finally woke up, lifted the clothes to check. He found that he only suffered some minor injuries and was not seriously hurt. Then he checked the others. He found that the pilot was dead. Fortunately, Alice and the dog were still alive, but her calf was broken. Jack gave her a quick fix. Then he built a fire to keep her warm. Then he took out his cell phone, but there's no signal. He had no choice but to huddle in the cabin for the night. The next day he came out of the cabin. He found that the plane had crashed on top of the mountain. All around is full of snow and ice. Jack was completely desperate. He cried out for help, but the only thing that responded to him was his own echo. A man, a woman, and a dog are stranded on a snowy mountain because of the plane crash. Jack overheard an airplane passing by. He rushed into the cabin. He took out his flare gun and fired it into the sky, but he was too anxious and forgot to load the flare. Alice hurriedly took out the flare and threw it to him. When he loaded and fired again, the airplane had already gone. It was a pity that a rare opportunity was missed. After waiting for 3 days, no one came to rescue them. There was not much food left on the plane. Jack had to go out to look for food alone, but halfway there, he heard gunshots. He immediately rushed back. Unexpectedly, he found a cougar on the ground near the cabin. Turns out he was out. A cougar ran into the cabin and was about to attack Alice. Unexpectedly, Alice killed it with a flare gun. The cougar died on the way out. Now the two of them finally have something to eat, and the lion was enough for them to eat for 10 days and half a month. But it was also for this reason, let the two of them have a difference of opinion. Jack thinks that now that there is food, he can stay here and wait for help. Alice does not think so. She thinks we should walk down the mountain. Maybe there is a cell phone signal at the bottom of the mountain. Two people do not agree. Alice had to wait until dawn and leave alone with her dog, but she underestimated the environment here, plus her own injured leg. Didn't walk for long before she felt dizzy, almost fainted in the middle of the road. Fortunately, Jack woke up. He realized that Alice and the dog were gone. There was only a note left by his side. After hesitating for a moment, Jack was still relieved. He put his luggage on his back and left the cabin as well. He followed the footprints and soon found Alice. The two of them helped each other to find their way out. After a day of walking, they finally saw trees. That meant they were getting closer to the bottom of the mountain. It was getting dark. They found a cave to rest for the night. The next day, Alice noticed a bright light in the distance. She guessed there might be people smoking over there. So the two of them packed their bags toward the direction of that light. But when they were resting halfway, they realized that the dog was gone. Jack had to get up to look for the dog. The result was that they accidentally found a small cabin. He was so excited, rushed forward to check. But the moment he opened the door, he was disappointed. It turns out that this is an abandoned cabin. Inside there is no one. This side, Alice suddenly heard a strange sound under the feet. Instantly realized that something was wrong. Immediately used her feet to sweep away the snow to see. I did not expect the accident happened. The woman just stood up. Unexpectedly, the ice under her feet suddenly cracked. Luckily, Jack found it just in time. He ran as fast as he could. He fished her out of the lake. Then he carried her to the cabin. He made a fire to keep her warm. Under his careful care, Alice finally woke up. Her body was still very weak. Jack searched the whole house and found only one canned food. He fed her everything. Without realizing it, they had been trapped for more than 20 days. In these 20 days, they accompanied and supported each other. Gradually, they moved on to each other. So in this cabin, applauded for love together. After a night of lingering, two people again shoulder to continue to rush, continuously walking for a few days. Both were so tired that they collapsed under a tree and fell asleep. I don't know how long it took. The dog ran over and barked furiously, trying to wake them up, but both of them did not respond. The dog had to pull Jack down. Jack finally woke up when he stood up and saw a lumberyard not far away. Tears of excitement almost flowed down. Rushed back to wake up Alice. Two people continued to help to the direction of the lumberyard, but Alice's physical strength, it really cannot go. Jack had to leave her on the mountain and go down to look for help to pick her up again, but he stepped on a trap by mistake. Jack screamed in pain. In order to save Jack, Alice used her last ounce of strength to make it to the lumberyard. Luckily, a car passed by. When Jack woke up, he found himself in the hospital. He then found Alice, who was also rescued. Then they embraced each other and cried. Suddenly someone opened the door and came in. It turned out to be Alice's fiancé told the copyright. Seeing her fiancé told the copyright, Jack immediately felt the loss and pain. The tears in his eyes condensed into helplessness. Facing the cruel reality, he had to turn away. After that, Jack never saw Alice again. He never met Alice again. He didn't even answer her calls. They each lived their own lives. Until this day, Jack received a letter with pictures of them when they were killed. Jack pondered for a long time, but finally he couldn't help calling Alice. The two of them met at the restaurant. Alice said she had no way to forget the days of life and death, and no way to renew the relationship with her fiancé told the copyright. She also asked Jack why he didn't answer her calls. Jack also told her what was on his mind. Jack said he didn't answer the phone because he thought Alice was already married. Alice said Jack could have called her and asked her. Jack said that it was hard enough for him to lose his ex-wife. Jack doesn't want to lose Alice. At this moment, Alice also expressed her feelings to Jack. She said she fell in love with Jack when she was in the mountain. Jack is also in love with her, but morality would not allow them to do so. After parting, both of them wept silently. They couldn't forget each other. The next second they both turned and ran at the same time, into each other's arms.